Alright, hello everyone, it's me Ethan, and in this video we are going to look at how to drop back and stand up from Urdhva Dhanurasana. This is the first of a two-part video series, and right here we will explore the sequencing and the fundamental movement patterns that come together to create stability and ease in this section of your practice. In Ashtanga Yoga, when the student has grown to a certain level of physical and energetic proficiency, their teacher will eventually add this really dynamic and initially really challenging sequence of dropbacks to the backbending section of their practice. Adapting to this usually requires a period where physical adjustments make this movement possible. And whether you are working in that stage now or you're kind of okay to do it on your own, your understanding and integration of the movement patterns involved will only serve to make this movement much safer, more comfortable, and more fluid. My intention in part 1 of this video series is to show you exactly that. And in part 2, we'll look at how you can work on it even when you're practicing on your own and might feel still a bit reliant on your teacher's assistance. To begin practicing this, a student should be well established in their practice of the primary series, having adequately released any tension in their posterior chain, the back of the body, and built a good base of physical strength and developed a nervous system that is capable of handling these more complex backbends. A strong Urdhva Dhanurasana is definitely necessary before working on this, and I'll post a link to my video on how to safely get deeper into Urdhva Dhanurasana below this video so that you can check that out when you have the chance. First, we will look at how this section falls in the Ashtanga backbending sequence. After your final Urdhva Dhanurasana, which is traditionally the third one, you'll need to come to standing by moving all your weight forward into the feet. A deeper backbend will generally be easier to stand up from, and your ideal alignment for that will have the chest aligned above the wrists with the arms perfectly straight, hips high, and the knees tracking forward over the toes. Standing up from here can actually be the most challenging one as you're starting from a dead stop, so it might be useful to get in a solid and intentional rock by straightening the legs to push back, then strong legs squeeze together, come all the way forward, and let the hands peel away from the floor as you come up. From here, we drop back and stand up 3 times. Stay solid in the legs as you initiate the drop back. The knees should not bend until you're ready to commit your weight all the way back. For now, initiate by feeling tall in the spine and moving your pelvis forward. Keep the hands in front of you and don't take the head back just yet. Proud chest shining up towards the ceiling. Relax your back and control this movement by firming the lower abdominals. When you reach the point of resistance, lift the chin to take your head all the way back, then reach the arms. These actions will take more weight overhead, so resist the urge to bend your knees and drop down too early, but press the hips forward to counterbalance. With the arms straight, control the drop by moving your knees forward as you bend them slowly to land softly on the hands. If you land too far away from the feet, you might need to walk your hands in closer before attempting to come up. A common mistake that new students make is seeing the drop back as separate to coming up and returning to a dead stop when you have the opportunity to use that momentum to get back up to standing. If you have the flexibility to land in a position that you can come up from, use the strength of your legs to push back from the moment your hands land. The tension that you press into will then help you come all the way forward. If you bend your elbows here, you'll leak power to come away from the ground. So straight arms, keep the head relaxed back as you move your weight forward into the feet and inhale up to standing. Any sense of rocking back and forth will naturally get more subtle as you develop more proficiency in this movement. Lifting the head early can be instinctual as the student tries to kind of see where they're going, but it will add an extra 5 kilos or so that will hold you down, and that can make all the difference. You've probably noticed as well that I tend to initiate the drop back with this forward head position. And along with the hands being in front of the body, that helps to keep weight forward so that when you lean back, the most flexible and the most sensitive areas of your pelvis and lower back can move into their strongest alignment before adding the weight of the head and arms. If you tend to turn the feet out when you come up, that could be an indication of tightness in the ankles or in the hip flexors, but there's also a good chance that this flawed movement pattern is just something that's been integrating since you started working on the dropbacks. So take the time to learn to keep the feet parallel or just very slightly turned out. That creates more freedom in the sacrum and lower back and will also give you a more stable connection with the ground. One of a few different ways that my students have found success in changing this would be by locking the feet in the flexed position as you push back, letting the balls of the feet lift off the ground if needed, and then grounding the whole foot as you come forward to stand up. Drop back and stand up a total of 3 times with the exhale down, inhale up breathing pattern. If that's the last part of your backbending sequence, sit directly on the floor and go to Paschimottanasana, forward bending, for 10 full breaths. Okay, yogis, give these tips a go. I hope that you find them very, very helpful. In the second video, we will go into how you can integrate these fundamentals into your practice, even if you're working on your own at home, which many practitioners kind of are doing at the moment. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to see that. And also there's this little bell that you can click on if you want it to pop up and give you a notification when that comes out. So your phone's gonna go bing, your boy's got a new video, we drop it back at home, you're gonna learn today. And I will see you in the next one.